Alright guys, so now we're going to talk about selective breeding. Selective breeding is the process by which humans, that's the huge key word right there, select organisms which have the desired traits they're looking for and have them reproduce. So in hopes of that their offspring will also have that desired trait. So in this case, in this example, in 1957, chickens were not as big as they were, but they basically made them bigger by getting the largest rooster, the largest chicken, hen, and making them reproduce. And so that was yielding larger and larger chickens. They kept doing that over time. Nowadays, we have much larger chickens because we have selected those fattest chickens in order to get a fatter offspring. Same with these are called Belgian blue cattle. They have these double muscles, so they looked for this mutation in cows that had this particular mutation, and then they made them breed, and they just got larger and larger and larger over the years. So again, big, huge difference here is that humans select who to breed, meaning who to reproduce. Okay, number 11, some dairy farmers want to increase the amount of milk produced by their cows. So that's what their goal is. How can the farmers use selective breeding to increase milk production? Okay, so again, this is selective breeding, so we're talking humans. What are they going to do? By increasing the age of the cows that are bred, that's not going to do anything to the milk. By choosing cows that are high milk producers, I like that one. By limiting the number of offspring per cow, no. And they're still going to produce the same amount of milk, but by choosing cows that can produce milk after eating the most food. This one does have to do with milk, but the fact that we're looking for high milk producers, this is the better answer. All right, when Charles Darwin visited the Galapagos Island in the 1800s, he observed many types of organisms that were similar, but lived on different islands. The 4 species of mockingbirds found on the Galapagos Islands are shown below. So all of these are mockingbird species. These aren't any different type. They obviously do have some differences, even though these two kind of look very similar, but in primarily their beaks. These species are very similar, but the hood mockingbird, that's this one, has a longer beak than the other 3 species. Which of the following best explains this difference? The hood mockingbird needs a longer beak for defense against predators. Doesn't really say anything much about predators. I doubt that a slightly longer beak is really going to be that big of a deterrent for predators for birds. The hood mockingbird originated from a different type of bird than the other species. Well, it did say that these were all mockingbirds, so maybe, but not a lot of information on that. The hood mockingbird's longer beak is an adaptation to the food available in the bird's habitat. I like this one because it says that they were on different islands. So different islands are going to be possibly have different types of food source. The hood mockingbird's beak stretched to reach its food, and the longer beak was passed down to its offspring. I do like this part, but the fact that this part right here, so that his beak stretched, he can't just decide to stretch his beak in order to get his food. So the best answer here is going to be B. Okay, and the last thing was just a flashback. What do really close contour lines in a topographic map indicate? All these really close lines right here, remember the distance between each line, is, let's say, in this, we'll just say 20 meters. So if these lines, 20 meters here, 20 meters here, 20 meters here, 20 meters here, that's really close to each other, so that tells us very close intervals like that equals very steep, a steep area. If they're nice and stretched out, right here, this is considered a gentle slope. So looking at something like that, you might see it being very steep like that. Over here, we're talking about something maybe something around those lines. All right, also just right here, these little closed, they call concentric circles. These are our peaks. So here you have 1, 2, 3, 4, maybe 5 right there. 5 little peaks on that little mountain. All right, guys, please make sure that you've written everything that we've written. Make sure your name is on it. And tomorrow we should be taking a quiz over this particular information. Guys, this is our very last one. It is important for you to keep a hold of all of these that we've returned back to you. This is something that you are going to be responsible on your own to look over, especially on the ones that you know that you are weak in, and be ready for next Wednesday. All right, guys.